fermented pickle. Good source of probiotics, which is good for the tummy and the gut. Great little low calorie, very, very low carb snack. All right, I just kind of feel like there's a lot going on right now. So airplanes flying around, mosquitoes, insects are chirping, mosquitoes are bugging, and I'm looking at the little duckies at the pond. They're so cute. But yeah, so today's video, I'm gonna be sharing what I eat in a day to keep my gut healthy. The key to having a healthy gut is to eat a very wide variety of fruits and vegetables because it diversifies your microbiome, which in turn helps to boost your immune system, which promotes a better mood, better energy, better digestion, how you absorb nutrients, your skin health, and so much more. So just keep in mind that this is just one day. It's just one day, it changes. So this is not the only, way I eat or the only probiotic plant-based foods that I eat in my diet. And even prebiotic, I'm gonna note the prebiotic foods too. All right, so we're gonna start with, oh my gosh, these flies are everywhere, my goodness. Fly, this is like the second fly that's on the floor of my eye. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and cut to breakfast. I'm gonna be starting off breakfast with a power plate. Yeah. So I'm going to be using some leftovers that I made a couple of nights ago to make my power plate. And the reason why I call it a power plate is because it's higher in calories. It's going to give me the energy I need to power throughout my day. And there's a good amount of balance between the macronutrients in this plate. The Brussels sprouts, which is going to be my non-starchy vegetable in this meal, are coated with some coconut oil. I baked them with a little bit of coconut oil and added in some adobo seasoning to give it some flavor. And note the scale here. I'm using a scale to portion out my food so that I don't overdo it, so that I'm not feeling overly stuffed and I'm not overeating, which also plays a part in how you digest food. And I'm going to add in my carbohydrate sources, and one of those are going to be some red beans, which I made with some garlic and onion, which are prebiotic. The red beans are prebiotic, and the rice, the wild rice in particular, are also a prebiotic, which helps feed the probiotic, your healthy bacteria in your gut, to keep them growing, which helps to enhance your immune system and all the other healthy benefits that come with that. So my protein source for this bowl is going to be some tofu. It's my go-to. I baked it with the citrus and herb marinade, and that is it. So I'm going to warm that up. And what I've noticed whenever I do like my power plates or power bowl, nourish bowls, is that I no longer mix my foods together. Been taking my time eating, well, I want to say not eating everything one by one, but eating each food one by one, taking slower bites. This helps with digestion, helps me feel fuller longer. The red beans and rice, I do kind of mix those up a little bit together, and that has kept me feeling a little bit more satisfied. So now we're on to lunch. Lunch is going to be a BLT sandwich. BLT stands for bacon, tempeh, lettuce, and tomato. So I'm going to start by preparing the tempeh, and I'm going to marinate it in some soy sauce, apple cider vinegar, a little bit of maple syrup. And for my dry ingredients, I'm going to add in some nutritional yeast, onion powder, and garlic powder, a little bit of sea salt, and smoked paprika. So I'm going to add in just a little bit of avocado oil and some neutral oil. And now I'm ready to stir everything up really well with this stir tool, which gives everything a nice, good consistency. And then I'm ready to chop up my tempeh. This is one block of tempeh. Tempeh is a great source of probiotics and prebiotics. It is high in fiber. The fiber is what feeds the healthy gut bacteria, which helps enhance that immune system and aids in digestion. And this is the thickness that I cut the tempeh in. I cut it up into about 16 slices, and I'm just going to coat every strip in the marinade, and all of them are actually going to fit in this little dish that I've used. And then after I've coated all of the tempeh strips very well, I'm just going to let it sit in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. While that's marinating in the fridge, I'm going to make my own sandwich spread. So my first ingredient here is an avocado. Avocado is a prebiotic, and I'm going to be using about a medium-sized avocado. And as a side note here, if you decide to make this, you don't necessarily need a food processor. You can use a spoon in a bowl. It's just that the food processor makes the spread come out a little bit more consistent. If you have a small blender or a blender at the house, that will work too. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of lemon juice, just a half. Squeeze that in. After that, I'm going to add in a good amount of dairy-free coconut yogurt, which contains live cultures, which is another way of saying that there are probiotics in it. And to season the avocado spread, I'm going to use some truffle salt, rosemary flavored, and it is just the biziam. I love truffle salt. And I'm just going to blend it up a little bit and then place it into a mason jar, airtight container, which will keep it fresh for about 3 to 4 days before the avocado spread starts to turn. Now it's time to cook our tempeh. So it's pretty simple here. On a medium-high heat, I'm going to warm up a skillet or like a saucepan with some sort of neutral oil. I used an avocado spray. And then I'm going to place the tempeh strips inside, and I'm going to let them cook on each side for about, I'd say, 1 to 2 minutes, and then turn them. And I'm just going to repeat this until they are golden brown on each side. So I'm going to set the tempeh aside after it is done cooking. And now I'm going to toast some bread. And this is just not any type of bread. This is Ezekiel bread. It's whole grain, high in protein, and it is a good source of prebiotics. It's a prebiotic food, meaning it's going to feed the healthy gut. Well, that healthy gut is going to feed the good bacteria. And so I'm going to, after I'm done toasting the bread, coat each slice with the avocado spread from corner to corner, not really eyeballing. I'd say maybe about, I don't know, 2 teaspoons per slice, maybe less, maybe more, I don't know. And I'm going to add 4 strips of tempeh bacon. Added in some baby kale and spinach, which is a prebiotic food, a slice of tomato, and a few slices of some fermented pickles. And that completes the BLT. I'm gonna cut that into halves. And then on the side, I'm gonna have half an apple. Apples are also a prebiotic food. They contain those special fibers in there to keep your gut healthy. And that completes this meal. It's high protein, it's a nice balance of macronutrients, healthy fats, and carbs. So now I'm gonna make a snack using beets. Beets, when cooked right, are just like perfect. They're so super healthy for you, but if they're not prepared right, it's kind of hard to eat them. So they're not only good for your digestive health, they're not considered necessarily a prebiotic or probiotic food, but they are great for digestion, and they also help with athletic performance and muscle recovery. So I do like to add beets into my diet, and I'll make different things out of them. And this time I am making beet chips. So the key to making these taste really good and to cook crunchy and evenly is to sweat them out. And what I mean by that is I'm going to place these thinly sliced beets into a bowl, and then I'm going to add in some olive oil, just a little bit of oil. You don't have to overdo it. This is going to prepare them for the baking. And then I'm going to add in some sea salt, and the salt is going to season them, add a little bit of flavor, and basically enhance the flavor of the beets. I'm going to rub the oil and salt mixture onto the beets thoroughly, coating each slice. And the salt is also going to release any excess moisture from the beets, which is going to make them cook better whenever you bake them. So I'm just pouring off the extra moisture into a small bowl, and then I'm going to use a sheet pan for this and some parchment paper. Parchment paper I find is best because it Helps prevent things from sticking to the pan, and I don't want to use any extra oil if I don't have to. So I'm just going to place all the beets on to the sheet pan, and I'm going to let them bake on a very low setting, about 300°F for about 50 minutes to an hour. And this is what they look like. This is just one batch. I had more batches than that. I recommend storing these in a Ziploc bag versus an airtight container. An airtight container kind of makes them come out leathery over time, which is not like the desired texture that at least I like. Crunchy is how I like my chips, so just a heads up. However, the beet chips still came out good. So I'm just going to pair that with some simple hummus that I made with some lemon juice, some minced garlic. Minced garlic is a prebiotic food. A little bit of tahini, olive oil, sea salt, and chickpeas. Chickpeas are also a prebiotic food because they are a legume and a bean. And then I'm just going to mix it up in a small food processor and place the hummus in a airtight container. And then I'm going to serve it together. And to avoid overeating, I like to portion this out versus just eating it straight out of a container. The day is now coming to an end, and it's time for dinner. And dinner is going to be a mustard green smoothie. I have really been enjoying the mustard greens that have come from my dad's garden, so I've been jazzing those up. I'm going to be using a whole orange here to sweeten it, leaving the pulp on there because it's a healthy source of fiber, which helps aid in digestion. And then I'm going to add in half a banana. A banana is a prebiotic food, which is going to help feed the gut bacteria. And then my protein powder is a vanilla flavor, and it also has probiotic enzymes in it. Then I'm going to add in some cinnamon to help regulate my blood sugar, and then some frozen mustard greens that are fresh from my dad's garden. Well, they're not quite fresh because they've been frozen, but they were grown in my dad's garden, which is awesome. So I'm just going to give that a nice blend, and I add in a whole bunch of greens, a lot, because you want the fiber and the nutrients. And this actually came out really, really good. So it's high in protein and fiber, and it's going to be pretty easy to digest since it's blended. And that is it, you guys. Hope the video is helpful. I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, continue to take care of yourselves. Bye.